What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of We Everywhere, baby. I am your host, Omar, and with me, as always, is the co-host with the mo-host, Nadia Moham. Say hi, Nadia.
Hi. Hi. Hi.
I like how the claps just cut right off. They don't dwindle off.
It's an abrupt audience.
It's not like they just stopped giving a fuck immediately.
Yeah, immediately.
They're like, we like this. No, we don't.
It's because we held the sign up that said, hold applause.
and
they had to stop
listened.
immediately.
Oh, my goodness. Welcome back. Welcome back. We have a very, very haphazard show. Normally, we have some kind of notes. Right now, we're going sans notes.
Are we? I got things to say.
I can't seem to find them, so I'm going to say yes.
You don't have notes?
I don't know where they are.
Oh, okay.
Whatever.
I don't really know where this week has gone. I've been saying that for the past couple weeks, but this one really lost me.
You're like, whoa, it's time to record again?
Honestly, it's just, I can't keep up. October is flying by.
Mm-hmm.
My head hurts.
Well, here's the thing with October. It's like, for some reason right now,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been feeling that spooky vibe.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if it's...
Maybe it's because you just come home and sit in the couch all day.
Yeah. That's probably it. I should be out volunteering or whatever it is.
You should be out smashing pumpkins.
But maybe that's it. Maybe it's because I'm
mean,
not going to stores and shit. Like,
Yeah, you don't go anywhere.
I'm not really vibing it.
You're not vibing it?
Yeah, like the Halloween vibe. Like, I'm just kind of not.
I also didn't decorate, which is really pissing me off and making me kind of sad. But all my decor is in storage. I really haven't had time to go get it. And I just don't feel like buying more shit right now. I'm just overspending money. I don't want to spend $1 on anything that is not necessary right now.
And in this day and age, in these COVID times, you're like, where am I really going to go anyway?
I know.
Although I'm sure there's a ton of shit popping off.
No, there is. And Not Scary Farm is open. Fright Fest is open. Halloween Horror Nights is open. And we had a bunch of friends just go and they invited us. But, they are like, we gotta pay the extra price for the VIP because the VIP is totally worth it, which I totally get because those lines get really crazy. So I understand wanting to pay the extra, but when I looked it up
mm-hmm.
and I looked up what the VIP cost was for a weekend, the price for a weekend trip VIP, I was like, absolutely not.
Was this a weekend 2 days?
No. 1 day.
Just to go over the weekend?
No, just to go on a Saturday.
Got you. Okay.
$350.
Pass.
I was like, what? That is practically my car payment. Super duper pass.
Yeah, nah.
I could sit in this living room and flicker the lights and scream in your face for free.
To have somebody invade my personal space?
Yeah.
That's like, oh,
and
man.
we've been. It's not like, we've never been before. You know what I mean?
No, yeah,
it's
absolutely.
And so, you and I are not really doing any Halloween festivities. We don't have anything planned for Halloween. Halloween falls on a Sunday this year. So a lot of people, I'm sure, having Halloween parties and things on Saturday night. But you and I literally have nothing planned. I have no costume plans. It is a bit depressing because I do love Halloween so much.
Yeah, me too.
I love dressing up, but it's just gotten away from me this year.
Which is literally what I was talking about.
Yeah.
It's just I guess it's Halloween time.
I know.
You know what I mean? I know that there's horror movies and things of that nature to watch, but just nothing seems to be calling my attention. Actually, our Japanese news correspondent Dustin told us that we should watch. I think it's called. Oh shit! It's called Black Mass.
Okay.
Or something.
What
like
is that? I still have to watch. Watch Pen 15, which he recommended too. I still haven't gotten to that. Don't worry, Dustin. It's on my list. Pen 15 and Made. Those are on my list to watch.
Okay, it's called Midnight Mass.
Got it.
Midnight Mass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he said it's good, and again, like I haven't seen it, haven't had the time.
It's a scary movie or series or what?
I think it's like a limited series or whatever. He didn't tell me how many.
Or whatever.
I mean, I don't even know what the fuck to call them anymore. Like, whatever. It's a series. Sure.
Series, limited series, docu-series.
It's more like, is it episodes or one straight shot? I'm like, it's episodes. That's all I care. It's episodic. Yeah, but he was saying that, which is kind of, I used to take it as a negative when you tell somebody to watch something and you're like, but that third show, that fourth show, you know what I mean? Because you're like, damn, you're telling me that in order for this to be good, I have to commit 3
that offended
hours
you?
to it. No, not offended me. Like, I used to have a problem with it. Like, it's like, well, look, if this shit isn't good by the first show, why am I going to give it 2 more
That is
episodes?
so typical Omar.
Right.
If it ain't good right off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally the reason why. That's why I didn't get into Game of Thrones
right away
until season 3 or something like that.
Dang.
Because I watched the first episode.
Yeah.
And I was like, this shit sucks. Like, I was just not
thought
about
it sucked?
Yeah, I was like, this is
took
whack.
me a while as well.
Because I didn't know anything about the story.
Yeah.
I didn't. So I wasn't like, oh, this shit's going to be amazing or anything like that. I was just like, okay, some White Walkers right up front. Right? Spoilers. There's like a White Walker right away.
Yeah.
And then nothing. And then it's just like this, kings. And, and I was like, okay, I don't want to watch this.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally just like, forget it. It's whack.
And then you couldn't deny.
These monster things never came back.
Yeah.
And then everybody was like, no, you got to give it a chance. Blah, blah, blah.
Too many people vouched for it.
Yeah. And I was like, okay.
Ultimately.
I was like, I don't. When it comes to shows and stuff, I don't value my time as precious. Like, no, I just, I don't have the time to see this. If somebody's like, watch it, I'm like, okay. But if I give it a chance, or before, if I gave something a chance and it didn't grab me right away, it was just like, and maybe now, the fact that there's so much TV and so many more of those better things are episodes because you have time to breathe, I learned to appreciate that a little bit more. But he says that once you get to like episode 3 of the show, it's like it really hits you like, holy shit, this is a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
Which I'm actually excited about.
This is all coming from the guy that sat down through multiple hours of torture through Manifest.
Okay, so because of that, I learned my fucking lesson. There's another show. What is this? There's another show called La Brea.
Okay.
Okay.
Like Inglewood, La Brea?
No, more like, I think, more like the tar pits area of La Brea. But according to a guy at work who usually recommends me shows that I don't want to watch, he was basically saying that it's like a sinkhole opens up and people fall through this sinkhole in La Brea.
Okay.
But when they fall into this hole, they actually are transported to like prehistoric times or something like that.
Okay.
And it's like, oh, now it's like, how can we get out? And signals can't get out. And now we're in the past. I don't know. It just seemed very much like a Manifest type show. Like, I'm going to get sucked into watching this shit, and it's just going to leave me
can't turn
more
away.
and more upset. So I was like, I will not watch it. So I don't know if anyone out there is watching La Brea, but I am not.
We need more people to vouch for it in order for Omar to sit down and watch it.
Yeah, if somebody's like, oh, they're only getting 1 season and it's amazing, then maybe I'll go for it. But if it's like, oh, I can't wait till this gets to season 7, I was like, no.
Oh, yeah. Well, back to the Halloween spookiness. We are not spookified over here, unfortunately. We're trying to get in the Halloween spirit, but we've just had so much shit going on. I have literally been slammed with work, like in a really good way. I've just been booking a lot of last minute gigs, which is great. I need to stay working, and so that's good. But I mean, that's just where all of my time has been going. And I booked, actually, I'll just share this now with you guys and prepare you for next week. But I don't know if you guys recall, a few episodes back, I was bitching about how there is not a lot of representation for women that are within the size range of, like, I would say, let's say 6 to 12, because, which is basically the average size of women.
Right.
And it's either small, extra small, 0.
I'm just saying, you like how I agreed without actually having any idea of women's sizes. I'm like, yep, that sounds about right.
It's just middle, medium to large, average size. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I understand.
That's where most women kind of fall. And and so the representation is always small, extra small, like size 0 or plus size. And the other thing that pisses me off is you'll see a lot of times, quote unquote, plus size models representing plus sizes, but they're not even really plus size. They're like a size 12, which is not plus size. Do you know what I mean? So it's just really frustrating. I was bitching about that on a previous episode. My cousin Nazanin heard it. And of course, she has her own lingerie and sleep loungewear brand called El Reve that I usually do makeup for. And she hits me and she's like, hey, I listened to your episode. That shit kind of sat with me. What do you say you model with me in the next campaign? And I was like, thick.
And the crowd goes wild.
Oh my God. I immediately wanted to be like, you're absolutely insane.
How about no?
How about no? I'm going to go barf now.
But not because I want the shoes, but because
no, so I was like, let me think about it. And then I told you, and then your face lit up like Christmas, and you were like, you have to do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, all right then, here we go.
I mean, how could you? Okay, how could you not do it? Right? It's you're being given this opportunity to do something that you haven't done before. That I know you'd be like, yo, this would be great to do. You know, you're constantly going to the gym. You're constantly working out. You know what I mean? This wasn't going to be out of your...
Constantly eating flaming hot Cheetos after.
You're like, man,
really putting in the work.
Tough workout. Where are those hot Cheetos at?
You know, gotta fuel my body.
You gotta set up your own like Jersey Shore thing. Like, gym, Cheetos, laundry.
Yep.
That's you. That's Jim Cheetos laundry.
Oh my God.
But I was like, yeah, of course I'm gonna support, you know, you doing something that I know is gonna, you know, be a self-esteem booster and something that I think you deserve. And it's something that you actually stop. I'm gonna take it all back.
Aww.
No, I'm just saying it's something that I know that you're. I mean, you're passionate about it, and it's not like I'm speaking like, "Oh, look at what a brave activist Nadia is." You know what I mean? I'm not gassing you like that. I'm just saying, like, hey, this is something that you had an issue with. You are now being presented with an opportunity to take over from inside, if you will, or you know what I mean.
To be a solution to the problem.
Yeah, you'll be a part of the change instead of just somebody bitching about it,
right?
You know.
Which is absolutely why I'm doing it.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be great. I mean, it's not like, hey, I just booked the Fredericks catalog. You know what I mean? I'm like, what?
Yeah. Plus,
do it.
That's like probably not even a thing anymore.
I know.
Frederick's catalog.
I know, it's such a, like, I'm dating myself, like, with my lingerie
Yeah.
references are old.
You're like, are you in the Buffums catalog?
It's not like you're gonna be in the Sears catalog. You're like, what?
Robinson's May.
Coming soon to Montgomery Ward.
Don't get me on the Mervins. No, it's true. My initial reaction was like, oh, no, I can't do that. Like, I don't do that. I'm not a model. Like, I don't know how to pose. I'm not used to being in front of the camera. You know what I mean? Like, I'll take pictures here and there and post them.
Right.
But it's very controlled. Like, I'm picking the photos. It's just, this is something a little more out of my hands in a way. Plus I'll be wearing, like, here's the thing. I thought I was going to be wearing lingerie, but then when I saw what it was, it's not even really like it's more like cotton basics kind of a thing.
Nice.
So I'm not even like super exposed. Mm-hmm. And there's not as many pieces in this collection. So it's kind of more of a chill vibe. But definitely I'm doing it because representation really does matter. That's something I believe in. And if I'm going to preach about it and if I'm going to talk about it, then I got to walk the walk, and if I'm being presented with that, then I should do it. You're right. And thank you for convincing me to do that. I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. And it's, it's cool that you support that because not all boyfriends or fiancés or husbands are down with their women doing those things.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
You don't care. You're like, look at her noggles.
Like, what's... Hey, everybody.
Look at her ass. That's my ass.
I mean, I guess that's all a matter of, like a POV, right? Whatever your point of view is of that, or how jealous of a person or insecure of a person or whatever you want to call it is. I don't think that this is going to be that big of an issue. Do you know what I mean? Because one, like, let's be fair. I know what her stuff is like. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, she's been showing us photos. I follow her, all that. Mm-hmm. So I also know what you're stepping into. Yeah. Which is, when we were joking about the Fredericks thing, it's like, it's not like you're coming up to me and being like, hey,
crotchless panties and shit.
I'm totally going to be in, this new
Playboy
Hustler magazine.
Yeah.
Like something just where I'm like, I don't know, this is a little bit extreme. Yeah. Then I might get really like, I might really show my age as far as like what would bother me. It's like, oh, hold up.
Oh, but you got that side in you, huh?
I mean, everything has its limits, has its levels and its limits. Do you know what I'm saying? But for this, I was like, yeah, go for it. I mean, plus it's also it's family. I doubt she's gonna direct you into a position where you're gonna look ridiculous or unflattering. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, use that one.
Yeah.
So I have no problem with it.
Yeah. So that's coming up.
Yeah, and that will be happening, I think, when we drop next week's episode. So we probably won't talk about it for another 2 weeks.
Yeah, we're shooting it next week. So anyways, long story short, and the whole reason I brought this up was because I have just been eating really clean and working out a lot. And so we haven't really been adventurous in the food department. Nothing exciting there. Yeah. I'm literally eating lettuce and fake meats.
Well, I mean, if we want to kind of encapsulate Halloween-y type stuff and, trying to eat healthy, we did do something that I guess you could consider to be, of the season.
Okay, what? I don't even remember.
We went and we watched a movie in a cemetery.
Oh, yeah. How did I even forget about that?
I'm telling you, this whole week's been a blur.
Truly.
So...
Oh, yeah, Eduardo invited us.
That's right. So we were invited by Eduardo. friend of the show.
Yeah, right. He don't listen.
It's like that thing that's been going around on Instagram and TikTok. That's like, people ask me, how come I'm not famous? And you're like, well, you didn't share my shit.
I
How
never
come you
see
didn't share-"
that.
You didn't see it. It's like one of those, like, everybody's using the sound, but the whole point is that people keep asking me how come I'm not famous or how come I haven't blown up. It's like, well, it's because you didn't share my shit. Yeah, how come you didn't share my shit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's one of those kind of things. But that made me laugh. But anyway, we were invited to this, and if you live in LA, Hollywood has a cemetery. It's called the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, and it's a massive like cemetery that has a section of it where there are no graves. It's just like a field, and they project, I want to say must be on the side of a mausoleum or something. It's a big white wall, and they project movies, and you can go watch movies there. So we went to go watch I guess it was from the 90s, right? The 90s classic.
Was it 90s or early 2000s?
I would probably say that it's in
I
the
didn't
late
even
90s,
check.
but I don't know. But we watched I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
Under the star. Because we couldn't really see too many.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there was one star that was.
Well, they were
above us.
showing that because they were launching the new, is it on Netflix? The new series, I Know What You Did Last Summer.
No.
They remade it.
It's not on Netflix. It's
What
on
is
Amazon.
it? Amazon. Okay.
Yeah. So this was in conjunction, or however you want to call it, with Amazon, because they are putting there's a new series out, literally of the same name. I Know What You Did Last Summer. So we went to go see that, and the movie came out in 1997.
I was just looking it up right now.
That's
okay.
That's when it came out.
Gotcha.
And it was cool. Like, you could get, you could not get, but you can lay out your blankets and have a picnic and all that. So that was really cool.
Yeah, it was so much fun. You just, you go. I mean, so Eduardo was like warning us to get there early and to line up because normally it's super hectic, and he was anticipating that. But apparently for this particular event, it wasn't the full capacity that they normally do, because they oftentimes will do movie nights in the cemetery. And it's not for any particular event. It's just, they just show movies. I don't know what the schedule is or anything further about it.
They do a lot of things there. Like, we've seen a concert there. They've done movies, and I think on the 30th of October, they're doing like Dia de los Muertos type thing.
Somebody suggested that we do that, because I was mentioning that we don't have any plans for Halloween, and they said that that's always fun and a good time. I have no idea what it is or what it entails.
I think it's more of like a
festival?
like a day festival.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Just like, there's going to be dancers and food vendors and something for the kids to do. And you know what I mean? Just kind of like one of those type of deals. But that stuff's really cool. What is not cool and was absolutely not good was I Know What You Did Last Summer. Man, if this movie came out in 97, I'd say the last time I watched it was 98. And this movie fucking sucks.
Was it that bad?
Look, it's bad, yo. Like, I don't know if I'm offending, I Know What You Did Last Summer fans.
Yeah. I don't think anybody is like, that's one of the best movies I've ever seen. It's a nostalgia thing. You know what I mean?
Get an email from the Jennifer Love Hewitt fan club.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, stop besmirching
the J Love crew.
But man, it's bad. You didn't think it was bad?
No, it was bad. It's just like cheesy, corny, like all those scary movies of that time. Well, those teeny bopper ones. You know what I mean?
Like, okay, let's think about the movies that this would belong to, right? I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Idle Hands.
You think I
don't remember Idle Hands.
I think Idle Hands is
was
better
it good?
than this. No,
I'm just thinking.
It was also not good, but I think it's better than this.
I'm just thinking of that time frame.
But you got Scream.
Mm-hmm. Scream was really good though.
Urban Legends.
Oh, Urban Legends.
I'm sure
there's ones we're missing
that I don't remember. And people are yelling at their, like podcast apps right now. What about this one? But let me break down what I hated about this movie. Okay, just the beginning part, because we're not going to spend all this time on it. Well,
Let's
first
not.
off, I won't really be getting into the things that are of its time. You know,
Okay.
what I mean? Effects, some of the writing.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, the movie starts off on like a beauty pageant, and I think the first line of the movie is like Freddie Prinze Jr. saying something like, "Oh, her breasts are so ample," or just something like where the whole cemetery got even quieter. Like everybody was like, "Oh," you know what I mean? It's like
Awkward.
yeah, they're like watching Sarah.
That
Michelle
didn't age
Gellar.
well.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, that's a product of its time. So that probably could have wouldn't have played now. But the point is, let's just get into what sets up the whole movie.
Okay.
These kids go to the beach and they all tell themselves the same story that apparently they all know, but they all got wrong, but they all consider that they're right. No, it was a guy with a hook. No, it was a guy with an axe. No, this guy got hung. All kind of dumb shit. I guess they decide to bang on the beach because the camera goes and just films nothing for a while. And then
You remember this movie
I
well.
do, because I was sitting there and I was just like, wow, why do people love this movie? Then they get in the car in the middle of the night, right? They're driving and they hit a guy.
Yeah.
Ryan Phillippe is hanging out of the sunroof.
Right.
And
Drunk.
Drunk. And they hit a guy and somehow his face gets splattered with blood.
Yeah.
Meaning that the guy that they hit would probably have rolled up and killed Ryan
Yeah.
Phillippe or broke his fucking back at least. But whatever.
Snapped him in
It
half.
would have just broken his ass in half. It's not like he was buff.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? He did his best, and he was fit, but come on.
Don't hate.
You're not going to take
Don't
what
hate.
was probably a 50-year-old man flying at you. But okay, whatever.
Which, by the way, Ryan Phillippe did make a guest appearance at the Hollywood Cemetery.
He was at the presentation of the movie wearing the
jacket
that his character.
Yeah. He looks great. He still looks great.
And even him, he you could tell he was like, man, of all of my movies,
Yeah, exactly.
why couldn't it be the one where I made out with my sister?
That's
who's
such a good
actually
movie.
my wife.
Right. No. Oh, yeah. That's right.
They're together.
Not anymore.
Oh, really?
You didn't know this?
I don't-
That happened like decades ago.
I'm sorry. I'm not up on who
my
Buffy is
God.
married to.
Not even Buffy. Oh my God.
What?
Please stop
Wasn't
talking.
Ryan Phillippe married to Sarah Michelle Gellar?
No, Reese Witherspoon. Don't even try to me. I know these facts. 1,000,000%. Do you want to shake on it and place a bet?
I do not.
I will take your $100 right now and tell you that he was married to Reese Witherspoon. They had 2 kids. They got a divorce. Sarah Michelle Gellar married Freddie Prinze Jr. and is still married to Freddie Prinze Jr.
That's what.
Sucka.
Okay. I stand corrected.
Yeah.
I will never.
Don't even try to correct
No,
me on
I
my
mean,
teen bop knowledge.
That's why we're a team. All right. So,
I don't know.
all right. So let's go back. I was like, you sure? I'm sure she was married to somebody in there.
Nope.
Okay. So it's Freddie Prinze.
Yeah,
She
which
must have-
was not his sister in the movie.
She must have liked how he talked about her bosoms.
Oh God.
She's like, I gotta marry this guy. But anyway, they hit this guy, okay, and then no one listens to Jennifer Love Hewitt, who was honestly at that time the only person with any kind of sense.
Yeah.
They're like, we're all screwed. No, you're not all screwed. Freddie is the one that hit him with the car.
Yeah.
Freddie is the only one technically
Freddie's
at fault.
screwed.
But she even says it in the movie. She's like, "You're not drinking. You haven't done anything. Like, you're sober. This is an accident."
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, like totally. And they're like, and this guy's probably dead. Nobody checks his fucking
Nope.
pulse. They're just like, they look at him and they go, "Well, we don't recognize him." Like, okay, and then they throw him off the side of the freeway while the guy from Roseanne and Big Bang Theory, Galecki or whatever, drives up and he doesn't see them disposing of a body. Fine. Then they decide to throw him in the water. Okay. And he somehow gets Sarah Michelle Gellar's tiara.
Uh-huh.
Ryan Phillippe jumps in the water
For the tiara.
for the
Cannot.
and the guy opens his eyes. The guy in the water. Right? First off, Ryan Phillippe can see underwater in the dark in like a lake or whatever.
It was a sparkly tiara.
Yeah, and he grabs the tiara, and the guy that they think is dead opens his eyes.
Yeah.
Ryan Phillippe freaks out, swims away, and then the movie starts, and a year later, they're all being haunted or whatever. And nobody knows who could it be?
They're like, who could it be?
Maybe the fucking guy you left alive under the water. Like, the dude woke
Left
up
for dead.
twice. And they were just like, nah.
Couldn't have been him.
We'll never get out of this unless we dump his body. When they spent the whole, like, kind of that whole beginning, talk about how rich they all are. It's like, yo, you're rich. You could have gotten out of this shit so easily.
4 rich white kids.
Man, and
you guys are good.
Never gets better from there. It shit doesn't make any sense.
Well, yeah. So we watched that in the cemetery. We had a whole spread. We went with Jesus. We went with Alex, Gabriel, and Eduardo, and we had a whole picnic feast, a house charcuterie, wine, all kinds of things that I could barely even eat.
I know. But that's kind of the best thing about that is that you can bring your own food and your own liquor.
Alcohol,
or, you know what I mean? Whatever. Like, you can smoke. I was smoking there. Like, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Except for the part where Eduardo gave me a cider. So we've talked about this. If you guys watch the beer couch quickie or listen to it, we talked about the fact that I have like this kind of love for ciders. And out here, you're kind of stuck with Angry Orchard, which is like shitty. But we're sitting there, and Eduardo goes, "Does anybody like ciders?" And I was like, "Yeah, you brought a cider, like dope. I'm expecting it to be a nice crisp apple, whatever." And he gives me something, and he's like, "Here." And I read it, and it's a pumpkin cider. So already I'm like, I don't want this.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be rude. He's the homie. And he's like, just try it.
Why would you be rude by saying, oh, I don't like pumpkin?
Because he was like, try it.
He was like, you better drink it.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, fuck. All right, I'll drink it. This shit tasted like a candle. I thought I was in one of those Yankee Doodle candle shops. And it was the worst. It was the worst thing ever. I hate pumpkin spice everything.
Omar hates all pumpkin everything. It makes me sad.
Yeah.
Makes me real sad.
And I mean,
you're not a basic bitch though, I guess.
I just can't fuck with it. Like, that's a shit. It's a bad.
I can't even buy a pumpkin candle.
No, like, it's just not. It doesn't smell good.
Yes,
like,
it does.
A pumpkin doesn't smell good. Like, if you have a pumpkin and you cut it open,
it's not real pumpkin. It's like artificial pumpkin and cinnamon and Halloween delight.
Halloween delight.
That's what it is.
Horrible. If I went trick or treating and people just gave me pumpkin spice lattes, I would have egged every fucking house in Inglewood.
Is there anything pumpkin that you do like? Like, you tried and you're like, okay, I could do this.
Just like, depending on the day, pumpkin pie, maybe.
Okay.
But anything.
Pumpkin bread? I feel like pumpkin bread is better than pumpkin pie.
You know what?
Like a pumpkin loaf?
Yeah, that would probably be
I feel like that's the safest bet.
That'll be your safest bet for me.
Yeah.
Because.
Damn, no pumpkin.
Yeah, nah. It's just not.
Killing my pumpkin dreams.
So, I guess to just kind of recap that, if you guys ever looking for something to do, the Hollywood Forever Cemetery is definitely cool.
Yeah, and so what I was saying earlier was that normally, from what Eduardo was saying, is that people line up like literally an hour before the gates open, because it just gets so packed. And you kind of want to secure a good spot. So people line up fairly early. And on top of that, another thing to keep in mind is that you are on a lawn and they do water the lawn. So if you can get a waterproof blanket of some sort, that's probably your best bet. Because if you just throw whatever blanket, you'll get a soggy butt by the end of the night. And it was so funny because Gabriel showed up later and he FaceTimes me. And he's like, hi. And I'm like, hurry up and get here. Come on. And then he's like, okay, I'm just grabbing some things. I'm going to get a blanket. And I was like, yeah, bring a blanket. I was like, do you have a waterproof blanket? And he's like, no. And he's like, but I have this. And he had like a shower curtain. And from like, I don't know, some procedure he did or whatever. And he was like, I'll bring this. And then this bitch brought a freaking shower curtain to the Hollywood Cemetery, was like laying on the plastic shower curtain. I cannot.
It looked like an episode of Dexter.
Yeah.
Like somebody was going to kill him and then wrap him up in this
Seriously.
plastic.
That shit was so hilarious.
And I mean, but it worked. He laid his plastic down. He put his blanket on top of it and stayed dry.
Yep. So,
Definitely.
and then
Shout out to
also
Gabriel.
it gets really cold at night. Like, I definitely did not bring enough blankets and sweaters, and like I should have brought a pillow too, because you want to be comfortable. Unless you have one of those really low sitting chairs that sit on the floor, then that's another good alternative. But other than that, you eventually want to lay down, and so pillows, extra blankets, waterproof blankets, and of course you can bring whatever food and drinks you want. But it's a really good time. I would definitely go back. So yeah, we did do something. We did something, and I forgot about it. What else?
I mean, also on the food tip,
oh, they had vendors.
they did have vendors.
They do have vendors.
And Amazon, because it was an Amazon thing, they gave us like a donut
gift bag.
And some
A
popcorn.
stale donut.
But I actually I have a cousin who's visiting from Mexico right now, and I took him to eat Indian food,
Yum.
which is, I mean, something I've been craving for a while. Like I was like, I really want to have some Indian food.
Want Indian
So I
food.
totally used him as a reason, and it was kind of funny because I've been trying to get my parents to, kind of expand their palate and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's very hard. Like we had some success with my birthday one, but like, if I'm like, hey,
they tried Indonesian,
they did try Indonesian food. So I feel like now that they're getting a little,
and then they had
older,
German,
they're kind of
being more adventurous.
They're being more adventurous.
They're like, why not?
Yeah. So that really helps. So I took my cousin because I was like, if I take my cousin and he likes it, then the next time I want to take them,
he can vouch. Yeah.
Like, oh no, it's really good.
Yeah.
Because it is. It is. And he was really, really actually pleasantly surprised. And to me, I was like, I was happy that I could like essentially open his eyes to this or whatever. But he was mentioning something really important, really like, which we already know, but I feel like sometimes we take for granted, is the fact that he's like, man, ever since I've, come here and visited for whatever couple of weeks he's been here, he's just like, I'm amazed at how you can go into it, like just anywhere in the city and find something from a particular culture and it has some kind of merit to it. It's not like
a wannabe.
Like a Taco
it's authentic
Bell type situation.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's a very, very lucky thing for like people who live in Los Angeles, is you can find cuisine from pretty much anywhere. And chances are you'll find a good one. So that was kind of like the only.
Yeah, we're really lucky in that department. We do have a variety of delicious foods from all different cultures, which is pretty awesome. We still have, I think you and I were discussing that we're pretty adventurous as far as trying different cultures' foods. We have still yet to try any sort of African cuisine, whether it's Ethiopian. I don't know what else. I always just see Ethiopian restaurants.
I mean, I know that back in the day, we used to drive up right there by like Little Somalia. And I've eaten Somalian food.
Okay.
Or Somali food. I'm probably fucking it all up. But I have, and it was good. But like as far as it's recent to where I could be like, yo, I like this or I don't like that. No, I haven't, and it's killing me because I really want to get to it, but
I think that's really one of the only ones I haven't tried. I mean, I'm sure there are others.
Yeah,
but when you think of the main continents, because like when you think of the Middle East, a lot of their cuisine is similar. Like, and I'm talking about like whether it's Turkey or Lebanon or Iran or Saudi Arabia or whatever, all these Middle Eastern countries, they'll have different variations of different dishes, but for the most part, a lot of it is very similar, right? So I can be like, okay, Mediterranean cuisine, check. Like I've pretty much tried all of that. Damn near, you know. I haven't had Moroccan food. I'm down to try Moroccan. That is one I haven't had. And then you think of all the Asian countries, right? We've had Chinese, we've had Thai food, we've had
Japanese food.
Like
we just got, like you said, we just had the
Indonesian food. Like, yeah. So what about Malaysian? Oh, that's
I think
Indonesian.
Simpang Asia is like
Malaysian,
kind of a
Indonesian.
mix.
Yeah.
Of like that general area.
Yeah.
So it's really good. But I've actually had like Nepalese food.
Yeah, I haven't had that.
That was really good. And it all kind of ends up being like some kind of meat or, you know, vegetable in like a sauce.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like I think that's how I'm going to sell it to my parents. Like, it's just mole.
Yeah. Honestly. And damn near every culture has rice.
Yeah.
like everybody has rice.
Good. You'll be good. And it's delicious. So that's my next plan for my parents' culinary adventure.
Speaking of that, your parents are in Turkey right now, living the time of their lives, which is so awesome.
Man, I gotta tell you, they're more everywhere than I am now.
I know, they're more adventurous than us. I'm getting jealous.
It's crazy. So my parents tell me that they're going to Turkey, and obviously my answer or response to that is why,
right?
Because I'm ignorant of like anything that's going on over there, like what there is to see, anything, you know.
It's beautiful.
And I'm just like, why? And they're like, cause, you know,
why not?
Why not? I was like, that's a good enough reason for me. Like, that's a perfect. Why not knock it out?
Your parents have been to a lot of places already.
But the pictures that they have been sending me, because my mom is like, just I feel like if there was charges for WhatsApp, I would be paying the premium rate right now. Because she has been sending me just these insane pictures and just like, you know, some like, you know, you got kick-ass mosques. You got like these.
Well, they went to Cappadocia.
These really good meals. And then in Cappadocia, they got on a hot air balloon.
Yeah, it's famous for that. It's beautiful.
I haven't been jealous of my parents in so long.
Yeah, and they stayed at this really dope hotel, which is like a bunch of caves in Cappadocia too. It's like built into a mountain. It's so beautiful. I was looking it up today.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Beautiful. Yeah, we gotta.
I was like, all right, cool. You know, and I was like, something to add to the list that I would have never thought of. You know.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool. Like,
yeah,
and it to that same fact, my mom was like, "Your dad's eating fish." Like I was like, which is unheard of.
Yeah,
my parents do not. They
don't like seafood
before, but yeah. So it's really funny. So shout out to Turkey for taking care of my folks.
And your mom was like, "Tell Nadia it's the closest I'll ever get to her motherland."
Yeah, she's like, they're telling me this is as close to Iran as I can ever get.
Yeah,
I was like, well,
truly,
you've done better than me.
Yeah, and actually, speaking of that, reminds me of what we do in the shadows when they send Guillermo to go get the dirt from the motherlands.
Oh yeah,
and he flies it to Turkey. And then takes a car and literally goes to the border of Iran and just like scoops up a little dirt, like almost gets killed.
He puts his hand through the gate.
Yeah. Man, guys, I don't know if we've talked about this on the show before. I'm sure we have. But if you guys have not seen What We Do in the Shadows, Omar and I love this show. It is so hilarious. It's just, it's like a reality show about these vampires. So when I say reality show, it's like the camera crew follows them. So that's the format of the show.
Yeah, it's similar to The Office or Parks and Rec or something like that.
Exactly. And it's just so hilarious. And they have a new season out that we're currently watching. And they have this episode where they go to Atlantic City. And that is literally probably one of the best episodes they have out of all of the episodes.
Yeah, that's
It's
a really,
freaking
really good
hilarious. Oh my God. Please check it out. Tell us what you guys think. That is like, that's up there with some of my favorite shows.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. The writing is great.
Yeah, and speaking of shows that are coming back,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
our favorite grumpy old man.
Yeah. No wait. How does it go?
You were about to.
I was gonna do the wrong song.
That stoner song.
I was gonna do.
All right, watch out before we get banned on YouTube again.
I don't know why I was gonna sing that one.
Of course, if you haven't figured it out by these songs,
How does it go again?
it goes. Oh shit!
I know it's in my head now. The other one.
We're talking about Curb Your Enthusiasm because we're gonna spend another 10 minutes trying to remember the theme song. Yeah, which is just a powerhouse of a show.
Oh my God, another one up there for me.
Yeah,
one of my top favorite shows of all time. Larry David can do no wrong. He's freaking hilarious.
Yeah, and that's I think definitely a show to be excited about.
Season 11.
I know.
And
he took a crazy break.
And he's old as shit.
Well, yeah.
How old is he?
I don't know.
Yeah.
As long as he's still funny.
He's still going.
I don't even care.
Yeah.
But speaking of like good shows and shows that we're waiting for, there are some bad shows out there.
Really? Like what?
Like something called Unidentified with Demi Lovato. Which is like 4 episodes, so I don't know why you want to call it a season of television, but whatever.
Yeah.
Which is just...
She's been kind of annoying me lately. God. I know I said I wanted to do
So she goes out there with her buddies, and they look for aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't even know what I'm supposed to call them now before, like... isn't that her new thing?
Yeah, she says that she's like offended by using the word alien or something like that. Yeah, I don't remember. She takes offense to it.
Demi Lovato's here to teach you about extraterrestrial pronouns.
Oh God!
But that was horrible. And then
you watched it.
I caught because I wanted to see what it was about. Yeah,
and it was bad.
It was horrible. Just what's the other show that? And in that same vein, you know who's getting a show? A ghost show.
A ghost?
A show about ghosts. Okay. Right? Like, what they go.
Is it a celebrity?
Yes, it's another celebrity. This one isn't out yet. This is just, I read about the fact that it's going to probably be out next year or something.
Okay.
But it's...
Who? Just say it.
Kesha. Who? Exactly.
No, I mean, yes. Obviously I know who Kesha is, and I'm laughing because I know the story about how she claims
she has sex with ghosts.
How she had sex with a ghost.
My goodness.
Yeah.
So now I don't know. So I don't know what the point of this show is going to be.
I'm definitely watching that.
Maybe she's looking for child support.
Oh my!
She's looking for ghost child support.
She's going after them in the Me Too movement because she didn't approve of the sex.
I didn't consent.
I did not consent
to these ghostly relations.
Yep.
But yeah, so I'm sure that's going to be just a really hot pile of garbage. Just like the
I'm definitely checking it out though.
I know.
Where's that coming out?
I don't know where it's going to be. I just read a blurb that it was like, hey,
what's a blurb?
Like a little piece, on the back of the book.
Not a full blob.
Like in the back,
blog.
not a full blob. It's a blurb.
It's just a blurg.
Not a blurg. Blurg is what Tina Fey says. She's always like, blurg.
So what is it?
You know how when you get a book and on the back of the book there's these little quotes?
Sure.
Like an amazing tale.
Yeah, the reviews.
But they're not full reviews. They're 2 sentences. Those are blurbs.
Yeah.
That's what it was just something blurbs? Short like that. Blurbs.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like saying,
that's the official term?
I mean,
or are you making this up?
No.
Okay.
Like
the blurbs.
It's a blurb.
We should get some blurbs for our show. Guys, can you send us in your blurbs? Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Outstanding, incredible content, great show, entertaining. Two of the funniest people I've ever heard in my life.
A blurb is a short piece of writing that informs your reader about a professional background, key accomplishment, personal value, blah, blah, blah. But
Okay.
essentially, it's a short piece
Just
of writing.
quick. Okay,
Something
got
quick.
it.
So it's the same as saying, like, I read the headline or whatever.
Okay.
But I read more than a headline because I made it to ghost sex. And when I saw ghost sex, I just dipped.
So you had never heard about that?
No.
Yeah.
I don't even
She
know
said that a long time ago.
And I was like, come on. And here's the funny thing is that I wanted to be like, this is so stupid, but all I could think of was like Scary Movie 2.
Oh, yeah,
or something
yeah.
like that, where Tori Spelling has like sex with the ghost. Is that who it is?
I think so.
Yeah, or maybe
I
it's
don't
even the
remember.
first one, but I remember somebody has sex with a ghost in
Yeah.
that movie. And she just like getting tossed around her. And that's just what made me think of like, you
Well,
know.
I'm going to look that up and watch that because that sounds absolutely ridiculous. And I need to see it.
It's too good. Oh, we got like maybe like 10 minutes. Did you
Dang, that went by fast.
yeah. Did you hear the new Adele song?
Did I hear the new like
I
what?
just want to know if
Do you know how many
are-
times I've streamed that song?
Okay.
Do you even understand? I read up all about her new album
Mhm.
and what it means and what that song means. And so her new album is mostly about divorce and what she went through and basically kind of like her side of the story to her son. So she
okay.
she basically was like, because obviously she got a divorce. I don't know if she's fully divorced or she's filed when this happened or how old her kid is at what point in his life or whatever.
Mhm.
But she was saying basically like, this is her explanation as to why when her son gets older and he's like, Mom, why did you turn my whole world upside down? Why did you leave my dad? Why did these things happen? Well, son, this is what I went through. This is my experience, kind of a thing. And once I heard that, and then I listened to the song again, Easy on Me, I was like, oh my God. It just hit a different chord for me. Because when I first heard it, I was like, okay, this isn't Hello. You know what I mean? Because Hello was like a massive hit. Like,
Right.
Hello hit people on the back of their heads. Like, we hadn't heard from Adele in a while, and then she just came out with, Hello, it's me. And we're like, whoa! She just like blew us away. And so this was not Hello. You know, like the impact was different. But once you understand and know what the song and what the album is about, it just, I don't know. I love finding out the deeper meaning. It just, once I know that, and I have a deeper appreciation for music or whatever it is, you know, that I'm listening to or watching.
Well, I will tell you this.
Mm-hmm.
Her single got 24 million streams
Mm-hmm.
in 24 hours.
Yeah, I probably gave her about 5,000 of those.
Which 5,000. But here's the thing. It's
Okay, fine. A good solid 250.
250,000.
I really listened to it a lot.
Well, this is what I'm saying. I was reading up that it got, like 24 million streams in 24 hours, which is like a record.
yeah.
The last musical artist that hit a milestone like that
Yeah.
was BTS,
Okay.
and they got 11 million.
Damn.
So she like
Blew him out.
doubled it, and then some.
Wow. That's crazy. I mean, listen, she's an incredible singer.
I mean,
and she is very likable. Like, people love Adele.
Yeah.
She's just, I don't know. She's got a humble spirit about her that feels very relatable. And like we were talking about the last, episode, just her journey of her being overweight and not feeling happy or confident about herself, then losing the weight, then people still have shit to say about her, then she gets a divorce. Like, all of this shit is so relatable. It just makes her really human, and people love that, and she just kind of like, she just has that sweetheart portrayal. So I'm rooting for Adele. I love Adele.
No, she's killing it right now. She's been on We Everywhere Baby twice. Not anybody can say that.
No. I listened to that song and I forgot to even tell you. I went over and overboard with that
now that
song.
you're telling me the concept of the album or whatever, and I don't know why her relationship didn't work out or whatever.
Right.
But in my twisted brain, when I try to make everything funny to me, you're like, hey, okay, son, I made this, to explain whatever, and it's just one track, and it's just like, he cheated, and then it was over.
No, that is not how it went.
You're like, damn, Mom. I thought it was going to be a lot more grandiose than this.
She's like, this is my song dedicated to you. He cheated. That's it.
No more tracks. You're like, oh, shit.
She did say that none of the songs they're not like Hello. Like the way that Hello was just a massive hit and had that crazy impact. She said none of her songs on this album are like Hello, and she doesn't want them to be like Hello. She doesn't want she's so interesting. Them to be
successful.
Yeah, the way
she probably doesn't want to tour.
She hates performing.
She's like, "Hey guys, these aren't very good.
Yeah,
so don't ask me to.
Don't even listen to it.
Yeah,
you don't even want to bother." This is my instead of hello, it's goodbye. Don't even bother to listen. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. I was like, that's interesting that she is like, none of them are like Hello. Don't even compare them. They're not as big. They're not like that. I don't even want them to have that impact. It's just so funny because that's not what artists do. They're always chasing that next hit, what can top this hit, kind of a thing. So I don't know. I don't know when the full album drops, but I'm excited to hear that. I mean, I've been an Adele fan since Chasing Pavement, which was like one of her first hits. Oh, I don't even know when that one was. It was a long time ago, but she was definitely under the radar, and I fucked with that song heavy. Mm-hmm. I still do. That's a great song. But love Adele, and hope this album is good.
Well, I think that's the end of our segment. What's
I feel like
Adele
there was
up
something
to?
else I wanted to say.
About Adele?
No. Oh, I was going to talk about the fact that Instagram is shadow banning me. I never got to that.
Oh, that's right.
Just to keep it short and sweet, I have been posting. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I've been talking about that because it's just really frustrating to me that, obviously I'm a makeup artist, and same rules go to hairstylists, to photographers, all of us that use visuals to promote what we do, to promote our art. Instagram started off as a platform to promote imagery. That's where it all began. And so it was a place that we thrived as artists because we were able to showcase our work and build followers, and it became a portfolio, if you will, a modern day portfolio for our work. And now, because Instagram wants to compete with TikTok, they're pushing reels. Mm-hmm. And if you're not making reels, they're not pushing your content. And it's so frustrating because here we are, like, busting our ass, working, posting the content. And this is our marketing. We're in charge of our marketing. This is another aspect of my career, of my job. And it's not easy. Like, it's not easy to constantly keep up with the content and post and blah, blah, blah. And so now they're trying to make us do reels. And it's like, who the F has time for all this shit? And so they're not posting my post to people's feeds. Like, they just don't put it on people's feeds. There's no exposure. And so my likes are very low. And I hate that I care about the likes because it's not really about the likes. It's about the exposure. I want you to see my work.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I need you to see my work. I need you to hire me. I need to get more followers so that I get higher paid jobs. Like, unfortunately, this is just how our world works now. And so, F you, Instagram. That's all I got to say. And lastly, a big thank you to all of you guys that every time I do post bitching about this, there's so many of my followers that will respond and be like, I'm going to your page right now and liking all of your content. And they'll just like go on a liking spree and like all of my pictures and all of my content. And I just really, really appreciate that, because that support means the world to me. It means that you guys are listening and that you care and that you support me. And it's really what I need. So thank you guys so much for doing that. There were so many of you that did that, and I really appreciate it. And hopefully I'll stop bitching about getting shadow banned. So freaking ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean it's really cool. It's really uncool that it's happening, but it's bizarre to me, because usually when you hear about like people getting shadow banned or what else do they call it? Stealth banning, or
I haven't heard
banning.
that one. Okay.
Yeah, it's all just a different way of banning.
Same thing.
It's usually when it's been coming under fire, like even TikTok and stuff like that. It's usually because they end up kind of hiding posts from what they now call like marginalized groups.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just it doesn't make sense with what you
why are you doing this?
Posted. You're like, I'm a makeup artist. Like I'm not.
And I've been posting every day.
Necessarily posting some kind of political agenda or something that they're like, oh, she's going to cause a fervor, or we don't want the masses to know this. Like, it's very bizarre, but that kind of stuff happens everywhere. I actually just heard a story, and this is not the same thing, but I don't know. Just follow me here. There is an author by the name of Brad Meltzer.
Okay.
Who writes this series of children's books that's called like Ordinary People Changing the World. And it's like, I am Amelia Earhart. I am this. I am that. It's all like famous people.
Oh, I think I've heard of this.
So he's got some, like, he's got like, I am Martin Luther King. I am Rosa Parks. I am et cetera, et cetera. And there is a school board in Pennsylvania that basically banned those two of his books.
Wow.
Along with a bunch of other books. It was this long list of books that they shadow banned, if you will, because they didn't remove them from these school libraries, but they were put on a list that they were not able to be read by students.
Wow.
And according to the spotty information that I have about it, they were saying these books deal with race, basically, and political ideas. And so they need to be vetted to make sure that the information in there isn't damaging or isn't,
Okay. And how long does the vetting process take?
So here's the thing. Apparently his stuff was hidden like that for a year.
Wow.
And it's like, well, is anyone going to get to this, or what's going on? So it took that long for him to even know. And he was just, when they asked him, his response was very genuine. He says, I was heartbroken because the lessons of Dr. King and Rosa Parks were going to be lost on these kids. You know what I mean? It's like, again, I said, the books are called Ordinary People Change the World. And they've been out there, and he ended up joining a Zoom meeting for like the school board to basically defend his work and be like, look, there's nothing in these books.
Right.
There's no politics in the books at all. They're just facts.
And mind you, why did they only ban the two ones that were starring two black figures?
Exactly.
Like, okay, we don't have to fact check the Amelia Earhart book, but the Martin Luther King, the Rosa Parks, that one's questionable. Like, how convenient.
Yeah, and like I said, he
gross.
joined him and his illustrator, and he even read from the books. He read from those two particular books.
Yeah.
And I guess it caused like more of a stir in even the Zoom meeting, like PTA, school board meeting, whatever, than he would have thought. And he said that a ton of people started coming to his defense that were already in there, like, just like, hey, like, what are you doing? Like, because
it's ridiculous.
Like I heard somebody on another podcast say, it doesn't matter what side of any line you are, political, this and that. If you're on the side of banning or removing or burning books or anything like that, you're on the wrong side of history.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter why you did it.
Yeah.
You're wrong.
Yeah.
so that was kind of just like it kind of,
Reminded you of that.
Yeah, it reminded
Yeah.
me of that. But in his case, they overturned it, and apparently they're supposed to be.
Well, thank God.
They, getting rid of a lot of those, getting rid of that list that some of those books were on. And apparently there's some books that are much more the story of, minority struggle and this and that but it's just kind of like,
I can't
come
even
on,
believe
man.
we're still dealing with this shit.
Yeah,
Like,
it's pretty
we need
tough.
everyone to get it together. This is
Yeah.
just, it's ridiculous.
It's crazy. I mean, you see what's going on at Netflix,
What?
where I heard employees of Netflix walked out
Why?
because of Netflix decision to not
Oh.
remove the Dave Chappelle.
Oh, no, that was, there was one, I don't know if he or she was trans, but it was somebody, I believe that they were trans. They, organized a walkout, but they got fired. Did you hear about that? That
Oh.
person that organized it, they got let go.
Really?
Because Netflix was like, you're not. See, this is the thing. I don't know. I consider myself to be a very, for lack of a better word, woke person, or, tolerant and accepting of all different people. But I love Dave Chappelle, and I just take it for what it is. It's a joke. Like, and maybe that's wrong, and maybe that's not a laughing matter, and maybe it's not okay to joke about that stuff. But this is how I view shit. Like, I think that there's humor in damn near everything in life. And that's his approach. He's not against trans people. That's the thing that people are totally missing. He's not against trans people. It's just, he's writing jokes. It's the same thing that people still make racist jokes. It's like, yeah, racism is not okay, but there's still jokes that are there. Like, I don't know what to tell you. And so to filter that, to be like, no, get rid of him. Like, he's not allowed to say these jokes. Like, that's kind of the same thing. They're trying to shadow ban him and what he has to say. I don't know.
I don't know that there's a shadow about it. It seems to be
Well, I'm just saying
pretty
that
out there, but
these people wanted to quiet him. They wanted to get rid of him, right? That they're organizing this at Netflix. These people that work there, they were like, no, we're walking out. This is bullshit, whatever. And Netflix was like, no, you need to go. Like, they got rid of him. They fired him straight out. And they're like, you're not going to bully us. First of all, Dave Chappelle's a huge moneymaker, I'm sure, for them. So
business
they're
is
like,
business.
business is business.
business,
Yeah.
business. And I think it's completely valid to have feelings about anything you want to have.
Of
You know what I
course.
mean? Nobody can tell you how to feel. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But there's a certain part of like expression,
Yeah.
or artistic expression, because I don't know what people out there would consider comedians, but they're artists. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's their art.
Yeah.
And however they choose to express themselves, like, I'm sorry, you don't get to tell somebody what they can and cannot say, where you essentially have in a place where you have the freedom to say whatever the fuck you want,
Yeah.
but I don't think that it's completely an invalid point on the people that are against him. But it's like, okay, you guys get free to go against him, and he's even said in the specials and in interviews, he's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, he talks about getting dragged on Twitter, and he's like, I don't care because it's not a real place. You know what I mean? But there's only so much that that some people can take.
Right.
You know what I mean? And in this last special specifically, it's been said that he aligns himself with what they call TERFs, which are trans exclusionary radical feminists.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? It's like people that want to deny the reality and existence of transgender people. And this is like,
Oh, wow.
so they're like, yo, a lot of people are saying, I'm not so much mad at the jokes and the humor, but the fact that he's like, but I'm kind of putting my flag in the stance of like, I don't really what they're saying is he doesn't really like
acknowledge
that they're an actual like group of people. It's
that's true.
But that's what they're saying. Like
That's what they're saying. But is that the truth?
Yeah.
That's what Dave Chappelle feels and says.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
I've not heard that. I don't believe that to be true.
The thing is, like, not having those sensibilities, I don't hear, let's say, his particular jokes or whatever with that same, let's say, pointed sword.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's how I feel. I don't take it that way. In that, right. You know what I'm saying?
But, I mean, it all boils down to just because you have a problem with it doesn't mean that, the world has to adhere with your problem.
Right.
You know what I mean? If it's something that is drastic enough and something that needs change, and hopefully that change will occur.
Yeah.
And I think that just kind of people nowadays just kind of complain, and then this whole cancel culture thing.
Yeah, exactly. The cancel culture.
And, it's just like,
and let's not forget that like Netflix also supports trans community and is very diverse in their programming. I feel that they really do promote all different types of cultures, races, sexes, everything. It's not like they're sitting here being biased. You know what I mean? So within that realm is also Dave Chappelle and his comedy. So it's just, there's kind of room for everybody. It's not, I don't take it as hate. I don't take it as him trying to tear this certain groups of people down. I just take it as a joke, and that's just my opinion on it. That's my viewpoint on it. Maybe it is in bad taste, certain ones that he has, but I love Dave Chappelle. He's hilarious, so I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, yeah, I personally view a lot of comedy as always kind of being in bad taste.
It is. A majority of it is.
That's why they do what they do.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? They're the ones that, I mean, there's those comedians that say, I will say what other people are afraid to say.
Right.
I don't necessarily always agree with that. But, you got to take things for what they are. And it's crazy. I mean, Netflix is standing their ground.
Yeah.
And I guess people got fired. And it's kind of crazy because, like, again, I saw this thing where it was part of the walkout. And, there's people outside of, I guess, Netflix or whatever, know. And a guy shows up and he's picketing for the other side. He's got a big sign. It's like, I like Dave. Like, he's funny. He should be allowed to do his jokes, whatever. And they grabbed his sign and broke it. Like, first off, he's got like it's a big wooden pole with like a poster board on it. I like Dave. It literally said, I like Dave on one side. I don't know what it said on the other side. But the point is, a guy comes up, grabs his sign, starts trying to rip it. He can't rip it. I don't know, maybe it was a high quality poster board. But the point is, the guy can't rip it.
He had that thick ass particle board.
He's like, damn, did you go to Michael's? Did you get this poster board?
But
he grabs it and he like steps on it and he breaks it. So now the guy who used to have a sign is now holding a stick. And the second that it becomes a stick, because the guy broke the sign, immediately they start yelling, he's got a weapon. He's got a weapon. He's got a weapon.
God.
Yeah, like it was crazy. It was crazy. And the guy wasn't being mean. The video that I saw, again, I don't have all the facts. But the point is, even when they broke his sign and everything, he was just like, hey, I'm just trying to say that I like Dave. I mean, he was, of course, kind of getting in their face in the fact that he's there to support the other side of the argument, if you will.
He went there to be seen, for sure.
He went there to be seen. But I just thought it was like crazy. It's like, yo, you grabbed his sign, you broke his sign, and then you're like, he's got a weapon.
Yeah.
And the dude dropped it fucking immediately. Like, he's like, ah.
Yeah, never mind.
You know what I mean? But
people are quick. People are quick to turn it around.
Going on, and we'll see. I mean, Dave said in the special, like, you're not going to have a special for me for a while. He's got some other shit that he's working on. And he's fulfilled his commitment as far as I know with Netflix. So it's not like he owes them anything. Now any money has already been exchanged.
Yeah.
Unless there's something with new subscribers or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, that was something that happened this week. My goodness.
Just when we think we have nothing to talk about,
I know.
we always blabber away. We always figure it out.
And of course, as always, we really want to thank you guys for listening, if you've even made it this far. Thank you so much. That's going to be it for our episode this week. As always, you can find us on Instagram. I'm at OMRVLZ. We are at We Everywhere Baby Podcast.
I'm Nadia Moham Official. And guys, don't forget to use that Wild Grain discount code. We have Wild Grain for what was it?
So the promo
Nadia
code is there's wildgrain.com. And
Let
you
me
can
just
put
not
the
fuck
code
this
Nadia Moham Official, and you'll get $10 off of your first box for new subscribers. And likewise, some of you out there, I'm assuming, have actually jumped on the Snug Club thing. I have gotten some notifications from them saying that our listeners are, at least some people are signing up. So that's good. Again, if you guys want to join that, it's Nug Club, NUGGCLUB.com. And you can use the promo code We Everywhere Baby 20 to get $20 off your first box. So get yourself some high quality cannabis.
That's right.
All right. So we will talk to you guys next week.
Ta-ta for now.
We Everywhere, baby.